to have you on the programme.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me. Absolutely delighted to be on.
Enjoy that intro that Sal gave you there.
I loved it. I thought you could have built it up a bit more, if I'm being honest with you. I'll take it.
I was doing my best.
Yeah, it's
Come
all
on.
right.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest with you, I didn't feel like you believed it. That's the honest truth of it.
That was me doing my very, very best. Look, I've read the book. I know how honest you are. You are brutal about your life, Rom, aren't you? Because from the outside, I would look at it and think it looks quite glitzy, glamorous, all these fabulous TV shows you're doing. But there's a lot of normal stuff in the book.
Yeah, well, the idea is that I just feel like, and I think a lot of us do, feel like you're sort of pretending at doing these different things, like being a dad, being a husband, you know, being an adult, basically. And so I thought I just wanted to write a book where I was just completely open and honest about how I felt about it and how I was doing at it, you know. And often when I was sitting down to write the book, if I started to feel a bit awkward and uncomfortable about sharing, I knew that I was onto something good, you know. So it is brutally honest. I mean, it's uplifting in a way, because you read the book and you'll be delighted that you're not me, you know. So,
Yeah, I do know what you mean. Yeah, and what I love as well, when we've been speaking to our guests, Romesh, talking about what sort of things people have learned in the last 12 months, new skills you've sort of adopted and things you're interested in. Yours are quite interesting because you're working on your DJing skills, and also as a family you've been colouring in a lot.
yeah, so I at the beginning of the first lockdown, I got a load of DJ equipment and have started to become this sort of tragic DJ in my garage, basically, with a view to my target. I've set a goal of myself of playing out somewhere when we're back to normal, sort of in October. So that's my target. But the other thing we started doing was, as a family, Rob Beckett actually recommended to me colouring in, which I thought sounded ridiculous. But then my wife and I sat down one evening and started colouring in, and then the kids came and saw, and they were like, "Oh, we want to colour in." So now, every now and again, as a family, we sit down to colour in. I don't know if that's one of the most tragic things I've ever said, but that is what we do. Yeah, on occasions we'll sit down and colour in. Yeah,
It's like you realised what you were saying then when you were telling us.
As I was in the middle of it, I thought, "Oh, this sounds really awful." I don't know why I'm saying this out loud. But yeah, that is
loads of people really love colouring in, those adult colouring in books. So they've gone down a storm, I think, particularly over the last 12 months. Can I ask you what your DJ patter's like? I mean, I imagine you're quite good on the mic, sort of hold tight and all that business, are you?
My problem is I keep slipping into cliche when it comes to that sort of thing. You know what I mean? I just want to be normal, but I keep finding myself saying things like, "Inside the raid, how we doing?" Yes. Rewind on that one, you know. It's really awful. I'm not going to lie to you there.
And Romesh, did that start? I think I've seen you with Rob on one of your programmes. Didn't you go and learn to be DJs somewhere? And
yeah,
seeing you in that world was brilliant, because you were just like a normal person in that world, like any of us would react.
Well, the problem is that Rob basically saw it as like a showbiz thing. So he got T-shirt cannons and glitter guns and stuff like that. I didn't really bother to learn how to mix. And whereas I really tried to learn the craft of it. But the problem is when we played out at the end of the show, I would just really had to concentrate. So Rob said, you're sort of hearing this music playing out, but it looked like somebody working an Excel spreadsheet. Like visually, I wasn't bringing a lot to the table, you know. So I've got to work on that a bit.
Rom, I do want to ask you about your childcare skills. There's some brilliant parenting tips in the book. If you could just share with us, for the people at home, the moment when you're on holiday trying to get your kids to eat fish.
Well, one of my sons just is quite a fussy eater, you know, to the point where he'll order something, that thing will arrive, and he'll tell me it's slightly different colour to what he was expecting, so he won't eat it. So I was trying to find ways of encouraging him to eat food, and we were on holiday, and he ordered fish, and I said, "Look, mate, it's not going to be like a fish finger. It's going to be like a fish. A fish is arriving. That's what you've asked for." He said, "That's what I want. That's what I want." So I said to him, "Okay, fine." So then the fish came over, and he was, as I predicted, surprised that it was a fish. And I said to him, he said, "I don't want it." I said to him, "Listen, I think you're just making a scene." I said, "I'll tell you what. If you eat that fish, because I think you will eat it, if you eat that fish, I'll buy you a set of VR goggles for your concert, right?" So he ate it, honestly, he ate it before I'd finished the sentence, right? He absolutely smashed through it. And then I said to my wife, isn't that amazing that I got him to eat the fish? And she said, yeah, it's amazing that you've showed him that you're willing to pay £200 for him to finish the meal. You're a genius. It was awful.
And therein lies your parenting technique. But every single parent will understand the frustration of fussy eating children on occasions. I'd like to talk to you as well about A League of Their Own, because you've filmed there's a new series coming up, and you've filmed one of your special programmes, haven't you, with the guys?
Yeah, we did a road trip. So this is where Freddie and Jamie are up against each other in a series of different challenges. So I joined them for a few months ago for the beginning of that. They sort of look at me like they can't believe I've managed to function in life with a set of coordination skills I've got. And I'll be honest with you, it's progressed now, because when we started, they used to take the mickey out of me. And now it's moved to something much worse, which is pity. Which is where they sort of look at me and go, isn't it sad? And then when we do different challenges, they basically see me as a sack of potatoes that they've got to drag around various challenges. It's really humiliating, I'm not going to lie to you.
Rom, can I ask you one quick one? Because you were on BBC Breakfast, I think, last month, talking and trying to encourage people to take the vaccine up in the BAME community. What's the sort of response been to that campaign, and to you particularly, since then?
Well, I've had a lot of people from sort of the BAME communities reach out to me and say they were having similar issues with members of their family, and they were having doubts themselves. And I think that, you know, you worry about what you're trying to do and whether it's the right thing. You know, I always think, well, what can a bunch of celebrities telling people to take the vaccine do? But actually, the truth is, I think what it helped do was to sort of highlight the fact that there are people from certain communities that were having doubts, and I think people were grateful that we shone a light on it. So I was really happy to be involved, to be honest with you. It's something that, you know, it affected me directly because my mum was having doubts herself. So to be able to get involved in something like that was something really important to me.
Oh, it's lovely to talk to you about that and everything else this morning. Thank you very much. And Romesh's book is called As Good As It Gets, Life Lessons from a Reluctant Adult. VR sets for eating fish. Really works.
You are